What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is just going to be, look, a quick drop. Just my 2 cents on this whole Jordyn Woods, Khole Kardashian, Tristian Thompson mess, okay? Now, let me say this. Red Table Talk. Let me say this. I watched the Red Table Talk. I actually just got done watching it. And honestly, and this is probably going to make some people mad, and I don't care. It's whatever. Couple of things I walk away with. Now, I saw the headlines, but I ain't read no whole lot of articles on this whole situation with the Kardashians and Jordyn Woods. I just have not. A lot of it comes down to I just don't give a fuck. I don't. And let me tell you why I don't care. I mean, one, I don't care because I just don't care. But Khole has a long history of picking up men in a questionable manner. And what I mean by that, and I don't have a playbook in front of me to go through a whole long list, but let me start from where I am and work my way down. Now, where I am is Lamar Odom. There was questionable, depending on whose side of the story you heard, as to whether she was done. Lamar Odom's, the mother of his children, whether that was a clean break before Khole stepped in. Okay? Question marks. French Montana. Question marks about whether Trina and French Montana's relationship was over before Khole stepped in. Question marks. Tristian Thompson. Question marks about the fact that he had an infant when him and Khole set up. And again, depending on whose side of the story you listen to or you hear, were they done dealing with each other when Khole stepped in? So, turnabout is fair play as far as I'm concerned. Now, with that being said, let's get to the players in this situation. Jordyn Woods, who is the best friends with Kylie, which means they all hang out together. They've all known each other. They all grew up together, whatever. So they know each other. She knows Tristian. She knows Khole. First name basis. Got you in my private phone. All that good shit. She does an interview today with the Red Table Talk. Now, what I want to say about this whole Red Table Talk situation, because I remember when I first heard she was going to Red Table Talk, I was like, huh? I said, now, Jada has been doing a really good job with this Red Table Talk. I at one point I was going to review it for the channel, and I just didn't get to a lot of those episodes, and it just became old, and I was like, well, nobody want to hear what I got to say now. The episode happened 5 weeks ago. But I feel like she's been doing a really good job of not getting into tabloid type stuff with her Red Table Talk. They've been some very valid issues and some really deep things that needed to be explored through our community, dealing with women issues and minority issues and relationship issues and LGBTQ issues. And so I just felt like, why in the world is Jordyn Woods going on the Red Table Talk, and why is Jada entertaining it, right? Didn't know the history between the Woods family and the Smith family. And then come to find out that they basically, they aunt and auntie. You know what I'm saying? I mean aunt and auntie. Uncle and auntie. Like, she calls him Uncle Will and Aunt Jada. Like, that's family, right? And what that whole interview was about, because let me use the word interview loosely, okay? What that whole moment was about was to put the Kardashians on notice, to let the Kardashians know that Miss Woods is not by herself. Jordyn is not out here alone. And just like y'all got Hollywood star power, she got the Smiths behind her. That's what that was, okay? This was not an interview at all. But let's talk about what Jordyn said. Jordyn said that she was out partying. She made it clear that she's a party girl. She said this wasn't new for her to be out partying. This wasn't a new thing for her to do that. That in LA, once the clubs close, because they close early, they go and they have a house party. They go to somebody's house. So they decided they were going to Tristian's house that night. She said she was familiar with Tristian, meaning that she didn't give him a lap dance, but she was sitting with her legs kind of in his lap. So that's an intimate situation. If I were someone in the room, a stranger walking through, and I saw that, I'd be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, you could easily say, well, they're like brother and sister and they're just familiar with each other or whatever. But see, she didn't say that. She said, it wasn't that. She said, yeah, my legs were on him, and, she could understand how that could be misconstrued. She said, look, I stayed at his house till 6 in the morning. She said, I've stayed at plenty of people's house till 6 in the morning. That doesn't mean I had sex with him. She said that when she got ready to leave, he leaned down and he gave her a kiss. She said it was a kiss on the lips, but there was no tongue, but it was more than just a little friendly peck. Then she said that she lied to Kylie and she lied to Khole about it because she said that Khole and Tristian are already having problems in their relationship. She didn't want to add fuel to the fire. That is probably that's probably one of the most truthful things she said. Because let me be honest with y'all, I don't believe that. I don't believe her. Now, some of y'all might believe her. Some of y'all might feel like it. I don't believe nothing that girl said. I don't. I do believe that there were already problems in Khole and Tristian's relationship that didn't have shit to do with Jordyn. Now that I believe. Because at the end of the day, if Tristian and Khole were in a good place and he respected Khole, he would have never had a house full of women in his house, regardless of who those women were. He would have never had a house full of women at his house, staying all night for an after party. What's that about? Dude, you still got basketball to play. Right? Isn't he actively still a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers? Correct? Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I ain't really been following it. So, maybe he's injured. I don't know. But, at the end of the day, what I have a problem with, because what I do appreciate is that Jada said, look, we're not here to justify nothing you did. We want you to tell your truth. You got to deal with the consequences of your bad decisions, and you're going to stand in it. But I want you to know, and I want the world to know, that we got your back. And even though you've made bad decisions, we have all made bad decisions that we've had to deal with, we got your back. She said, and at the end of the day, you can't tell people when and how to be over their hurt. You got to let them be in their hurt. If it takes a week, if it takes a month, if it takes a year, you have to let people stand in their pain. But part of that is that you have to be honest with them from the beginning of that pain. And so, according to Khole, you have not called her to apologize. You have not texted her to apologize. That's Khloe's version. Jordyn's version is she has talked to Khole and that she has reached out to Khole. Now, I don't know who's telling the truth, to be perfectly honest in the matter. And at the end of the day, it don't really matter. Because even if you call Khole, all you're going to do is apologize, and Khloe's either going to accept it or not accept the apology. Now, at the end of the day, Khole doesn't accept your version of the story. So even if you had called with an apology, if your version of the story was, hey, we didn't do nothing, and yeah, he kissed me, but I didn't return the kiss, and I immediately left the house afterwards, if she chooses not to believe that version of the story, it don't really matter whether you reached out to her or not. Now, as far as you and Kylie are concerned, Kylie's going to side with her sister. I mean, that's what she should do. As she should. Even if Khloe is being irrational, even if it comes out that Jordyn is telling 100% of the truth and nothing really went down with them, I understand Kylie saying, look, that's my sister and I'm a rock with my sister. You are her friend, and yes, y'all were close like sisters, but you were not her sister. Now, here's my biggest problem with all of this. Jordyn said that her reason for responding and her reason for even going public is because of the threats. She said that her sister is 12 years old and her sister hasn't been able to go to school. Brother hasn't been able to go to work. Mama can't go to the grocery store. Now, this is what I'll never understand. I will never understand how everybody knows who these people are. Do you know if I walk past the grocery store, I said walk past the grocery store. If I was in the grocery store and Jordyn Woods herself walked past me, I wouldn't know who that child is. How people know who her brother and her mama is? Now, I can see people maybe knowing who her sister's 12 years old. Her sister probably brags on brags on the fact of who her sister is and brags that she hangs with the Kardashians and probably got Instagram pictures with them and stuff. So I could see how maybe the school knows who these people are. But how do people in the grocery store know who your mama is? I wouldn't know who your mama is. I wouldn't know who you are. So I don't understand. But what I will say is in this society where we have these internet thugs and these internet trolls and people who feel like they are entitled to an opinion on everything you do just because you're a public figure and you're on social media. That I can't deal with. I can't rock with it. I can't deal with the whole bullying. I just cannot. I cannot. And it's ridiculous and it's so unfair. And for that, I do feel bad for Jordyn. Because making a bad decision, as bad as this was, even if she slept with Tristian, even if that's really how things went down, as bad as that decision was, it does not warrant death threats. Like, come on, y'all, let's get real. Like, you gonna threaten you gonna threaten death on somebody because they slept with a man who was 100% willing to sleep with them. I'm just, and I will never understand how the men never get the same treatment. Where the fuck are all these people threatening Tristian's life? Where are all these people that are all on Tristian's? I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's out there and I'm just not noticing it. But it just, even today, Khole and her tweets, all of her tweets were directed at Jordyn. And then when she finally, I guess enough people said something to her about not saying nothing about Tristian, her defense was, well, Tristian is the father of my child, so I'm never going to go on him. And he's come to me privately, and we're dealing with it privately. Okay. Even if I believe that Jordyn never reached out to you, Khole, you got her number. Call her. If you really truly didn't want to go public and you really truly didn't want to put this woman out there publicly, you didn't have to. You didn't have to respond. You didn't have to go to social media to say a damn thing. You could have picked up the phone and you could have called her. And you could have called her a liar to her face. You didn't have to include us in that. And so now you're guilty of doing the same thing that you claim she's guilty of doing. Now maybe you say, hey, she owes me a phone call. I shouldn't have to call her. And that's valid. That's valid. But if you're going to go to social media, then I feel like at the very least, that's what you owe her. You owe her that phone call before you go on social media blasting her. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, I don't believe nothing that girl said. I believe now, I don't know about sex, but I believe more went down than a peck on than a kiss on the lips before we went home. Like I don't believe that. I believe that maybe there was some cuddling, maybe there was some touching, maybe a little canoodling, maybe they didn't have full intercourse, maybe they did not. I'll give both of them the benefit of the doubt on that. But I don't believe that nothing went down. I just don't. That's just my 2 cents on that. And I don't necessarily believe that this was an ongoing relationship either. Now that I don't believe. I don't believe that this is something that's been going on for a month. I don't necessarily believe that. But this whole situation has angered me from the point of view that I'm so irritated with people feeling entitled to ruin someone's public life over a private indiscretion. That's where I stand on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Again, I think that I'm in the minority with this one. I haven't looked at a lot of reviews, but I've been seeing some headlines here and there, some tweets here and there, and it seems like a lot of people have automatically now jumped on the Jordyn bandwagon because she went on the Red Table Talk, and they're automatically like, yeah. But again, like I said, I don't necessarily see where she gave me a whole lot to go on. Just my 2 cents. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.